Come and grab your keys, hit the road. Let's ride. Rich has the news for the drive outside. Wake up with Rich and win the day. Don't spend your morning playing catch up. WRVA and the city's alive. 7 a.m. It's go time, Richmond.
Good morning, everybody. It's Richmond's Morning News here on News Radio WRVA. 7 o'clock, 7:04. Time for you to get your travel mug, fill it full of coffee, grab your lunch, head out the door. Time to get to work. Let's start the day. Let's win the day. Either you start your morning with News Radio WRVA or you're going to fall behind. Don't fall behind. Start with Richmond's Morning News. All right, here's a story that I want to bring up that I think is important for everyone in the Commonwealth. I don't care what side of the aisle you're in. We work hard for our tax dollars to be sent to Capitol Square. And if I send you my hard-earned money, I expect you to respect it enough that you use it wisely. I'll ask you this question. If you were in business and you found out that you overpaid a vendor by $301 million and you went to the president of the company, the board of directors, you went to the owner of the business, said, you know, I paid somebody $301 million too much. Can we just write it off? How long would it be before they escorted you out the door? But that's what's happening in Virginia. RTD is reporting it this morning. Virginia's overpayment of unemployment benefits, a staggering $301 million they wrote off. By the way, they were able to manage to recover $6 million. I got so many questions about this. According to Melissa Smith, this again reporting from the RTD, VEC is actively implementing improvements and modernizing technology, strengthening process designed to both recover overpayments appropriately and reduce the likelihood of future overpayments. Folks, how many of you would keep your job if you worked as a accounting clerk and you overpaid people at $301 million? How many of you would keep your job? Okay, $2 billion business, you overpaid by $301 million. How many of you would keep your job? The answer is none. I was an accounting clerk for a little while. My boss would have caught that right away. Here, in fact, my boss was a jerk when I was an accounting clerk. My dad wanted me to be an accountant, so he got me a job working for a produce packing place. They packaged carrots, and I sat there 10 keying, and I couldn't 10 key. I was awful at it, and when I'd give him my payroll or my accounts payable for the week that we had to pay out, he'd go through with a fine-tooth comb and read, and he took joy in finding all of my mistakes, overpayments, or transposed numbers. Like I said, I was bad at it. I didn't last very long. But maybe I could have had a flourishing career working for the Commonwealth where we just overpay people and then we write it off at $301 million. From 2021 till last year, the Virginia Employment Commission said it paid $471 million in benefits that Virginians weren't entitled to receive, according to their audit. That comes during the pandemic when claims hit 1.9 million in 2020 and over 500,000 in 2021. In 2024, though, claims fell back down to 131,000. But I want to make sure I read this correctly. All in all, from 2001 through the end of last year, the Virginia Employment Commission determined it had paid $471 million in benefits that Virginians weren't entitled to receive. They spent almost $500 million of our tax dollars given out to people that weren't entitled to receive them. And what did they collect back? $6 million. What did they write off? $301. Now, by the way, if you're just looking at the total cost, this is amazing. Okay? Super Dave. $2 billion is what was doled out during this time. $2 billion. Of that $2 billion, $471 million were improper payments that people weren't eligible to receive. That's a little less than a quarter, isn't it?
Yeah,
if my math is correct.
Yeah, if your math is correct, you're about right.
Yeah, and I'm not very good at math either. A quarter of what they paid out was invalid. Now, by the way, they opted to waive any effort to collect $124 million because the overpayment was the result of not anything the claimant did in repayment. We wouldn't want to deprive an individual of income required to provide for basic necessities, including food, shelter, medicine, childcare, or any other essential living expenses. Oh, so I overpay you, but then you don't want to take the money back because they have to use that for shelter, food, medicine, and childcare. As if I couldn't use that out of my paycheck that you take from us for shelter, food, medicine, childcare, or any others. That's okay. We'll take from the taxpayers who have to make sacrifices so we can pay our taxes on their shelter, food, medicine, childcare, but we won't get it back from people that got it improperly. Now, in many cases, they didn't even follow up on it. Somebody says, I don't have any income. Okay, we'll take your word for it. No follow-up to see whether their claims were valid or not. And then their $301 million they wrote off, saying the money couldn't be collected, although the inspector general who did this report found cases where the agency didn't even try. The audit reviewed 34 written off overpayments that occurred. In 22 cases, found no evidence of an effort to recover the money at all. We gave you that money incorrectly, but my bad. In addition, the claimants, when they lose, the agency doesn't push to recover the money. So we find out that somebody got this money and it didn't belong to them. Hey, by the way, Rich Herrera, we gave you unemployment benefits you weren't entitled to, but don't worry about it. We're not going to ask you for the money back. Of the 28 appeals cases the audit reviewed, they hadn't started recovery in 4 of the overpayments. They didn't even care. 18 cases, they didn't get started during the 31-day deadline by law. On average, it takes them 391 days later to get these back. Many of them were identity theft. And then this is the one that just is amazing. There's vague standards of how they get the money back. But here's the thing. The state doesn't have a way for claimants to return overpayments with credit cards or debit cards. It did not offer an online payment system. Hey, listen, you owe us money. Yeah, sorry, my bad. Can I use my debit card to give it back to you? We don't take cards. Do you have? Can I pay online? Yeah, we don't do that either. Okay, sorry. Nice seeing you. Take care. Have a nice day. Just in case you're wondering where your Commonwealth is right now, we rank 48th out of the 50 states for overall recovery rate for collection of unemployment benefits that were overpaid. We are 48th of 50. Hey, Louise Lucas. Hey, Don Scott. Hey, Abigail Spanberger. Is it okay we just gave away $301 million and just wrote it off? You guys are worrying about, the General Assembly is worrying about everything under the sun, from taxing dog walkers and raising all this money. Hey, listen, Louise Lucas, you want more money? Go get the money that our government overpaid to people that didn't deserve to get those employment benefits. I don't see you squawking about that at the General Assembly. I don't see anybody squawking at the General Assembly about the overpayment of your tax dollars. Yet you want to raise taxes on everybody else. Go get the money that people have gotten from the state that didn't deserve it. I'm just going to say this right now. I'm going to go on the record. Today is May 28th, 2026. It's 7:13 on this Thursday morning. Hey, Nick Shirley, if you're listening, come to Virginia. Look and see what you can find out in our Commonwealth. We need someone like you to look into this, since the people that we've put in power at the General Assembly don't seem to notice nor care.
1 minute alone, pronto.
It's not a priority for them. So, hey, Nick Shirley, come on down, brother. See what you can find. Maybe you can find out why we rank 48th out of 50 when it comes to getting our tax dollars back. You want to comment? Go ahead. 833-804-1140. 833-804-1140. That's the James River Air text line. Seriously, they keep wanting to raise taxes. Like I said, I don't mind paying my taxes. I do mind when you don't take care of my darn money. I get up every morning at 3 a.m. to come do this job. And every 2 weeks, I get my paycheck and there's chunks taken out for taxes. I pay my taxes. I give up that money. You take it from me every month. You take it from me every 2 weeks. If you're going to take my money, don't waste it and give it to people that aren't getting up at 3 a.m, that aren't going out there doing a job. And if you're going to overpay them, get that money back. I deserve better. You deserve better as the taxpayers of America in this Commonwealth. And the fact that this has gone on and they have the audacity to say we're going to write off $3.1 million. Give me a break. 833-804-1140. And I'll say it one more time. It is 7:15, Thursday, May 28th. Hey, Nick Shirley, if you're listening to this, if you're watching us on YouTube, please come to Virginia. Take a look at all of this. We don't even collect unemployment overpayments out of this Commonwealth. Imagine what kind of fraud's going on that nobody wants to look into. Hey, Nick Shirley, come on into the Old Dominion. We'd love to have you take a look under the hood, what we have going on at Capitol Square. It's 7:15 here on News Radio WRVA. We've got more coming up on the program. We'll talk about this with Governor Jim Gilmore. This one's got my goat. I do want to talk about this one. All right, let me remind everybody. This is a perfect one, okay? How many of you owe credit card